5:28, Sunday the 8th of July 2018. I've been outside and I've just come outside again. I'm in the usual place. In the shade. Sorry. God, that's me. What's all this connection? has there. So I've just put them in the shed, as you can see. I'm sat there, and that's the house there, and his is just beyond it. We'll give him some separation, but we've had a little burst there, as he does. 2.4, 2.6, 2.2. Put things into perspective, even it's a different waveform. It's if I had a microwave oven in my house at 6 feet away, 2 meters if you like, I would be getting 0.4, and that's with it running, yeah, on full power. There is fuck all out here. These meters are strictly short range, yeah. If I put one next to a Wi-Fi or a telephone, you got more chance of picking up the power source, the volts per meter squared, than you have of picking up the H field, the magnetic field. So I am here, in the middle of nowhere, with 2 short range H field meters that get 0.4 microtesla 2 meters away from a microwave oven in my kitchen running at full power. And yet, out here from 0.9 to well, it's showing 18.35. And as you notice, there's always a wee delay. There's the testing shots and then the rapid fires. And look where I am. There's nothing out here, nothing. And this is the same garden to the south of the house, so it's my house there, this is to the north of that. And this is the same garden where when the mums go past it all stops, and it gives it a wee while and it starts again. And sometimes he starts right away afterwards. And also, oh, I hate hot days. I'm also tired. It's not I hate hot days, it's just one after the other. It's like being in Johnny Flunner country. Constant. For the same reason, if I went out into the front garden, there'd be a delay, you'd give it a minute or so. If there was a magnetic field, it would be everywhere, it would be instantaneous, it would just be there, yeah? And it would not wait for me to be in that location before it started. For example, you look at the one with Postman Pat on it, if you like, that's the one where I go into my front lawn and he gives it a few minutes, it's a few testers and then he starts. And then I hit the wooden edging. There's no electrical stuff with me, absolutely no RF equipment or anything, just us here. And I decide, because he can't help but, because he's a mentally sick person with what he's got, he just thrives on reaction. And so I've got a pair of hand shears, and single-handed hand shears, and every time he fires, I hit the piece of wood edging around my lawn. And that makes him react more. What magnetic field does that? I mean, that's on video. And as usual, because I've been out here already, kind of thing, I went in to get the meters, it came out again, because I could feel that high frequency metallic flare, kind of, and it really is a dry metallic high frequency, kind of hitting you. And so I decided to bring the meters out just to show, and again it was like a couple of tester shots, and give it about a minute and it all kicks in. And yeah. As I say, it's looking at these kind of things where, as I say, with these meters, they're about 6 feet away from a microwave at full power, and you get about 0.4 microtesla at kind of that 2 meter, 6 feet kind of range. And yet I'm out here and I'm getting like an up to 3, 4 kind of thing happening, and as usual it starts off with little tester shots, and also a magnetic field does not behave in that manner. For example, if I was going to kind of put these up to a power source, yeah, it's constant. There's no there's no pause and start, like off, on, off, on. It's nothing. It's just constant, yeah. And as you can see from here, it's, well, he does his thing where I've been out here for a minute or 10 minutes, it's the usual kind of average, and then he just goes for it. And but a lot of the times, like how you see in the house, it's like 4 shots, stop, pause, 4 stops, 4 shots, pause, and then kind of start again. You know, it's just like what you get just now. Beep, 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 beep. Pause. A magnetic field, any kind of thing, it would just be there, basically. It's like with a microwave. If I was at the microwave and I went back from the microwave, it's there. I mean, there's no kind of start and stop. And so as you saw, this is controlled. It's in like kind of, it's off and on, basically. And I just don't know how to get this message across to people, because I'm just realising, as I say, I never call myself clever. It's the way I was trained in the Air Force. How blind and ignorant people are, and they can't see the bloody obvious. Like, why is it when I go to my car, the minute I get out my door, I'm in the house, there's nothing. I go out my front door, go up my front step, and it starts. I then go to my car, it follows me all the way to the car, or it could wait till I just get to the car and it starts. And then I'm in the car, it's firing like hell. And then I get away, I pull over just round the corner, and there's nothing. I then do my shopping, whatever, I come back, and I'm in the same car, in the same driveway where it was firing like hell, and there's nothing. And it kind of, then a series of events ensue, kind of follow, and where it could be just the minute I get out of the car, just as I'm getting to the house, or as I'm getting the last bag out of the car and closing the car up. And then I come into the house and it continues where there was nothing before, yeah. And then, or another one is, you'll do nothing, wait till I get in the house, and where there was nothing before, so as I'm putting the shop away, you'll start, yeah. These are all on video. And so, as I say, it goes to the thing yet again, if there was anything, it would be there all the time, it would be everywhere all the time, not waiting until I go to a certain place. And then you can put it into perspective of what he used to do before this, like going in the garden, he'd call one of his mates out, wait till I go in the house, hammer my walls, or he would kind of, you know, just come out and just generally get other, well, 9 times out of 10, get other people to intimidate me. And his little gang, because he likes to stay clean, he likes to keep a distance. See, there's people going past here just now, he's heard voices, and there was that pause. See, and then it all kicks off again, yeah? He heard people talking, and then it all kicks off again. It's just like the mums going past with the kids. There was the kids going past, they were talking, oh, what's that? Bump. That magnetic field just suddenly seems to cater for people going past, you see? And so I think this one's a keeper just on that thing. As I'm talking away, as you hear, it all just suddenly went quiet briefly, because just when the people spoke, everything stopped. And it's like a time I've got a new neighbour moving in, nice lady kind of thing. I don't think she's very well, and there's a bit of a delay in her moving in behind me there. It's not somebody renting, thank God it's been bought. And they came round, they arrived, and they were chatting in my garden, and everything stopped. And then they went into the left later on, went in the car, drove off, and everything started again. That's a very strange magnetic field, that, isn't it? It's like kind of, oh, this is what I've had to show, where people are generally haven't bothered to educate themselves on what's going on. I've had to show more than lights and numbers. I've had to show the circumstances, the coincidences, just like the noise campaigns. I'm always by myself, kind of thing. He doesn't like witnesses. Remember, this individual hides behind a fake name, a fake personality. Watching him try and smile is like watching Terminator Genesis, where, what's that? Oh, we're trying to give him human emotions. I mean, it's really creepy trying to watch him smile, because it's a sneer. He doesn't know how to smile because he's got no emotions. And this is a really sick, twisted individual. I had police in my house in May 2014. This was the only one. And when I said his name, she goes, I know him. I'm surprised nothing's been done about him. So he's obviously got a history. And but he seems to be a mystery to the rest of the world. And he is really a sick individual. And think he hides behind everything. He hides behind his fake name, personality and stuff like that, very temporary. And everything he does has always been, as you see in section 1, is always hidden in his walls or hidden around the side of the house or using other people outside to do his dirty work for him, yeah, while he stays hidden. So how much a bonus do you think this kind of stuff is to him? Does it kind of follow the pattern? Now you see, like since 2012, when I was a witness to his drink driving charge and conviction, I basically paid for it big time with the stalking campaign, the harassment, kind of the very visible, very audible stalking harassment campaign. And then suddenly on the 5th of June last year, it all stops. And then this all kicks in. Now, do you think that's a bit of a coincidence, yeah? Where's everything else? Where's the rest of it? Now, and where's his mates coming down every day with a noise campaign and all this sort of stuff? Where's all the bangs on my wall, the punch tools on my wall and everything else? Where are they? He just decided one day just to stop. And all of a sudden I'm getting evidence together to show what's happening. Now here's the real pathetic, sad part of it. I'm putting the evidence together and I've discovered that people don't have a fucking clue. Which really kind of makes you go, big question mark on top of your head when you're going, well, there's people out there that can make this stuff. And yet you don't know what it is. And as you say, this is what happens. I come out my side garden, he gives it a wee while and he just fires, just constantly firing. But as you hear, with the kids going past, kind of, and they were talking, now I mean, move, suddenly caution, panic, stop, yeah? And then he realises, they're going past now. What they were doing, the voices you heard, they were going round from the south, then round the path there, and then towards the street. And that's the house, the path to the south of the house that I've shown so many times. But notice how it's been without a break now, it's just going constantly, but it just stopped that time basically when kind of these kids, it wasn't just the fact that they'd gone past, because he wouldn't be aware of that. It's just the fact that kind of they were shouting, talking, etc, etc, and he heard them and poof, what's that? Suddenly stops. The coincidences, yeah? And yeah, and so as I say, inside I get the RF. Well, this is the thing, I was on the house on the phone to my sister, and I'm getting it in the house, but it's like 0.4, 0.5, 0.6 kind of thing. I know you'd come maybe, okay, right, so inside you've got this on, you've got that on, this on, but I've shown these are not in the low frequency kind of spectrum. And as I say, I'll show with the RF, well, it's not just an RF meter, it's actually a low frequency meter as well. And I've shown that so many times, inside and outside, that the readings are very low, 0.005, 0.004, 0.006, and yet these things are going through the roof. But that RF meter only has a range in the LF range up to 10 kilohertz, and so there's a gap between 10 kilohertz and the 100 megahertz when it takes over as an RF meter. And so we can conclude that the EMF H field lies either within, I'm going to say categorically, it lies in the 10 kilohertz to 100 megahertz range, and or else kind of my RF meter would be picking something up. Now on the if it's so annoying, it's got that gap on it kind of thing. And but mind you, I can see why, because if you go any lower than that, you're going to get every signal under the sun, because you've got radio frequencies and all that sort of stuff going up, like your FM goes up to like 108 megahertz and stuff like that. So it's and he's off again. Well, mind you, he's never stopped, apart from that time when the kids were going past. So this is a very typical day, as I say. So inside and then outside, the RF does not come outside. Yeah, it's very focused inside. Apart from that time, there's two locations. There's A by the sofa, B by the kind of the front wall, and as I've shown beyond doubt kind of thing, if he sees me in the front garden, he can rotate that round to like the front door area, the front step. The meters, the videos don't lie. And I don't just write things down and say things. This is why I bother through the expense, etc, and the noise of all the readings to show what's happening, because me just saying it would not be enough. And this is the thing as well that really pisses me off, is then you then put the things in front of people and they go, oh, what's that then? Well, go and fucking learn. No, go and learn. Oh, I can't be bothered with that. Got pizza and Ant and Deck tonight. I know I mention Ant and Deck a lot because, let's just say, it's no offence to them, but it's the genre. No, that's what pisses me off. I didn't really know, I mean, I was an aircraft technician, but I was like engines and systems and stuff. Now I mean, okay, I did electronics before that kind of thing, but you don't have to be Professor Bloody Know-All to see what's happening, kind of thing. You don't have to be kind of Albert Einstein, when a guy's sitting there with a magnetic field being picked up on meters, sitting around his side garden, it all fucking stops when mums go past. And you look at the history and you see kind of thing, well, was it not the same thing with the mums kind of turning up on the street with the noise campaign? Oh, there seems to be a common denominator there, doesn't there? Doesn't it take a rocket scientist to start one? And just like everything else, yeah? The postman turning up, me going to the front garden, there's always a delay. There's always a delay, yeah? If it was there, it would be there. And it wouldn't stop, it wouldn't give a shit about who was passing by, kind of thing. You see like a nuclear bomb going off and all the x-rays going out and go, oh, hang on, avoid that bit because there's witnesses. No, it doesn't work like that.